Well, got this home last night. It's a new to me, 1955 Minneapolis Moline UB. I have a 53 that was my grandfather's. This one came from just down the road. The people I bought it from had bought it from the original owner. It was bought in Marion, Ohio in 1953. It was the guy who bought it. It was his big farm tractor for a lot of years. And then he transitioned. He had a G1000 Vista after that. So I got this home. I went to look at it. It was very straight. It's very original. A lot of the original stuff is still there that a lot of guys took off. The downside were that the front wheels were loaded with calcium, and so are the rear wheels. So the rear rims are kind of starting to rot out, or kind of rotten. The other side, tires aren't terrible. A little bit of cracking, but I mean, they're usable for a bit. Missing one headlight lens. This side was a lot worse. We actually used part of the old tube to put in there as a buffer, but that's where the valve stem hole was. It was on the very bottom, so it's pretty rotten out. Put a used tube in it just to get it home last night. So drilled another hole to put the valve stem in on the opposite side, but it's holding air. It's doing pretty good. The front wheels not so lucky with. It sat for 20 years, has not run for 20 years, but the engine is free. So I'm hoping here in a little bit. Gas tank looks nice and clean inside. The hood is very straight. It does have the typical wear on this side that a lot of them had around the exhaust manifold, and this one actually at the top, the air cleaner has a little area right there that is worn through. But other than that, it's pretty straight. The fenders are straight. A little added on toolbox on the fender. Should come off with 4 bolts. You can see the platform, original gauges. So all in all, it's a pretty nice tractor. Pretty happy with the condition of it. Today my goal is to clean off some of 20 years of dust and dirt and caked on grease and oil, and I'm going to relegate it to the outside covered storage for right now, because I still have the Jetstar and the 302 tore apart in the main shop, and I'm a little short on space right now. So I will get to work on this and kind of show you. I'm gonna start by scraping a lot of this crud off, and then probably put some degreaser on it and power wash it just to get it cleaned up, so it makes it easier to work on. It's always easier to work on a cleaner tractor than one that's dirty like this. So that's the project for today. Well, I got her power washed. I hit her with the Purple Power and then just the cold water pressure washer. Cleaned it up pretty good. Got the 20 years of dust off the hood, and got a lot of the crap off it. If I would have broke out the hot water pressure washer, I'm sure more would have come off. It's just still a little too early in the year, because I'm afraid since the hot water pressure washer is winterized, my luck, it'd freeze and I'd have an issue. So got a lot of stuff cleaned off here. So I'm going to work on next going around and kind of checking everything over, and maybe cleaning the points and putting a battery in it and just seeing what happens when I do that. So I think she'll fire pretty easy, you know, being free. I'll pull out the spark plugs, check them, go over everything. Need to hit grease fittings like in the water pump in those places, just to make sure I pull the battery out, just to get in with the power washer better. So original decals, you know, just this tractor is pretty original. I don't know what this bracket is up here that they bolted on. Imagine they had something they attached to that. And like I said, this wonderful toolbox here that'll come off at some point. So that's where I'm at, and keep plugging away and seeing what we can figure out on this thing. All right, so we moved the tractor in underneath the porch roof. Been working on it. Carl came over to help, and I got her washed off. We went through, we cleaned up the electrical connections. We went through the distributor, pulled the spark plugs, cleaned them off. Kept trying it, it wouldn't fire. We couldn't get spark, kept going and going. And what we found was that center button in there is not protruding like it should. I went over to the 53 and grabbed the distributor cap off it, and here we just fired it up with just a little starting fluid just to see, and of course she fired just on the starting fluid, so we know we're good there. We're getting spark. She should start, so we're going to give her a little try here and see if we can get it running. Although the carb's dripping a little gas, we'll just see if we can make it go. Just a little bit of throttle. Ready?
I think we're gonna probably have to take that carb off, man, and
Go through it.
at least clean it out.
There you have it. She runs. Not well, but the carb's been sitting for 20 years. But at least we got her to fire, so I'm pretty happy about that today. So we'll keep messing with it, but so far that's where we're at, and pretty happy with the progress. One note, as we were pushing it back in here, we blew both tubes on the front tires, which isn't surprising. They were loaded, and you can see the tires are in pretty bad shape. There was a nice little loss of air as we brought her in. You can see they're not in great shape at all. So we're gonna mess with the carb and probably end up having to do a rebuild on it, but still, 20 years of sitting, and not too long here messing with it, and got her running. Pretty happy with that. So we pulled the carb off. It's yeah, pretty nasty in there. Definitely shows signs of sitting the last 20 years. So put everything, bagged everything up, and we'll be doing a carb rebuild, which would explain why it wouldn't stay running. Did feel a slight knock in it while it was running, but it really, it's kind of hard to say what it was. You know, we'll have to actually get it running to see if that was just hopefully nothing serious. So that's where we're at. I will make another video hopefully at some point in time when we get this thing running and know a little bit better what we're looking at. Thanks for watching.